Someone there? Who is it? Look. Mitch, this isn't usual, is it?
We've been out back looking at the chickens. Something seems to be wrong with them.
There's nothing wrong with those chickens, Mitch.
That's the damnedest thing I ever saw. I don't know. It seemed to swoop down at you deliberately.
Birds are not aggressive creatures, miss. They bring beauty into the world. It is mankind, rather, who insists upon making it difficult for life to exist upon this planet.
I mean, birds just don't go around attacking people without no reason. You know what I mean?
I think we're in real trouble. Huh? I don't know how this started or why, but I know it's here, and we'd be crazy to ignore it.
To ignore what? The bird war?
Yes, the bird war, the bird attack play. Call it what you like. They're massing out.
Well, you definitely recognize the audio from that classic Alfred Hitchcock movie, The Birds. Oh, man. I think I saw that when I was a little bit too young. Scared the you-know-what out of me. Well, one of the stars of that movie, legendary actress turned author, is on the MPW Digital TV Celebrity Hotline. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming to the show Tippi Hedren. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. It's early here.
I was going to say, I imagine it is. It's I don't even know what time it is, really.
That's the wrong question.
It's so funny because we had to obviously have the time change this weekend, Tippi, and I feel like I'm still recovering from it, so I appreciate you getting up. Yeah, you know. It's tough because I'm experiencing, I have a 4-year-old and an almost 2-year-old, and the time change doesn't matter to them. You know, they were still awake bright and early this weekend, so it didn't matter. Mm-hmm. They weren't going to sleep in, you know. They're ready to go.
Yeah, that's the way they are.
So I want to say thanks for getting up early, and congrats on the book. So Tippi, a memoir, and I wonder... for a long time, it seemed like other people were trying to tell your story. So was it recently, or had you been thinking about putting out a book for a number of years before it happened?
Well, I was so busy living it that I didn't really think about it, about doing a book. I'm not the kind of person who does a diary. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I am so sorry that I didn't.
Ah.
I really am. I'm really just kind of irritated with myself over that fact because, you know, I have to tell you, I've done some amazing things in my life, and you know, there were all kinds of nuances that I should have been writing down, and mm-hmm. I'm just really annoyed now.
You know, it's interesting that you say that because I had thought for a while, not that I certainly haven't done as many unique experiences, you know, like yourself, but I've thought about that, keeping a journal or trying to keep track of things and places and people, and you had advised that people do that, it seems like, huh?
I absolutely would, and when in my next life, I hope I remember to do that.
So was it a challenge to try and align, because I haven't seen the book, if I'm being honest, so the timeline, did you find that you wanted to stick to a timeline, or were you just going to focus on covering different years or dates or what?
Yeah, I just kind of went with starting out with, you know, as a child, and kind of going through my life. Mm-hmm.
I love that you have...
Did it that way.
Yeah, we kind of have, you know, you're from the Midwest, you're on the radio with me in Iowa right now, so to go... Because you grew up in Minnesota, right?
Right, southern Minnesota and then Minneapolis.
So to go from Minnesota to the big screen, that's quite the leap, and it seems like you did it so effortlessly, but maybe that's not the case. I mean, was it a struggle for you to get auditions early on? Because not to say that there's not movies being made in Minnesota, but you probably had to head west early, right?
No, but that isn't how it happened. Mm-hmm. When you know, I was born during the height of the Depression, mm-hmm. the Big Depression, and my father had a country store in Lafayette, Minnesota, southern Minnesota, and you know, as the times got worse, so many of the people in Lafayette would say, Mr. Hedren or Ben or, you know, whatever mm-hmm. relationship they had, could I just sign a piece of paper saying that I'll pay you as soon as I can. And pretty soon, as it got worse, more people were doing that, and eventually my daddy went broke, and we had to sell the store, and and it was a sad thing, but he was able to get a job in Minneapolis, and so we moved to Morningside, and I loved it there so much. And you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to be a figure skater. I wanted to be in an ice show. That was my goal.
That's awesome.
And, as bad as finances were, my daddy got together the money to buy me a pair of figure skates. And, of course, we had all those lakes out there.
Right.
To skate on, which was perfect. But two of my friends were taking figure skating lessons. But my parents couldn't afford the lessons, so they invited me to come with them and watch and listen. But I couldn't skate with them. But so then I'd go back, after that was over, I'd go back to my lake around my house, the closest one, and practice and practice and practice. But then I don't know, I must have been 12 or 13, and I had to have an operation on my left foot. And all those years ago, the doctors wouldn't let you just up and get going again.
Right.
And they said you couldn't skate for the rest of the year. And the following year, I had an acute appendectomy, and so I couldn't skate for the rest of the year. And then I was heartbroken about that. But anyway, that's the way it was supposed to be. And then one day I was getting off the streetcar coming home from high school, West High School in Minneapolis, and this lady came over to me and handed me her card and said, "Would you ask your mother to bring you down to Donaldson's department store? We'd like to have you model in our Saturday morning fashion shows."
Wow.
That was what started the whole thing.
That's incredible. So just by
Isn't that awesome?
I love, just by chance, someone thought, wow, this young lady has a look. We'd like to invite her in. And I love that. I love that timing. Had the streetcar been delayed, it might not have happened. That's so great. It lined up like that.
I think it is too. But you know what it did for me? In fact, I almost called my book The Open Door. Because I've had so many doors opened for me, and if I liked what I saw on the other side of it, I walked through it.
I love that. No,
and
it's perfect. That would have been a great title as well. And I think that, to have the opportunity to do that initial modeling, and then you end up in the birds. And if I'm being honest, Tippi, the first time I saw the birds, I might have been too soon because it terrified me. It was
oh, good.
It was so...
what's so wonderful about that movie is that you'll never forget it.
No.
The birds are everywhere.
Right.
They're everywhere.
And there's often times when I'm outside, at the park with my kids, and I see more than, like 1 or 2 or 3 birds, and I think, is this going to be the moment when it happens to me? I hope not. I want to make sure I can protect my kids, but it's never happened, thank God. But that...
Oh, isn't that wonderful? That's a blessing.
100% it is. I can't wait to pick up the book, Tippi. I think that your story...
Oh, you don't have it yet.
I'm going to get it as soon as we get done with this, because I have been a fan of yours for so many years, and I always thought that you would have quite the stories to share, and I don't want to give anything away, but this is a book that people are going to enjoy reading, and the experiences, and some of them not that pleasant, I understand, but a very
well, that's true.
Yeah, a very truthful look from yourself that you're sharing with everybody, and that can be tough as well, right? I mean, you've been in the public eye for a number of years, but you're really opening yourself up in this book.
Yes, I did,
and I think
I really love the book. I'm so pleased with it that the woman who helped me write it, Lindsay Harrison. And I had a really good relationship. And I was the storyteller, and she was the one who put it all together. Being a writer is a very exacting job, and you've got to be very, very good at it. and she was just wonderful with listening to me and getting the whole legend down so well. I'm really thrilled with it.
Well, I can't wait to get my hands on it. Tippi, A Memoir is the book. I want to say thank you for the time and all the best to your entire family. That granddaughter of yours, Dakota, she's so talented, and it runs in the family, Tippi, so thank you so much.
Well, you're welcome. Come out to Shambhala when you can.
Absolutely.
Look us up at Shambhala, SHAMBALA.org, O-R-G. And when you come out to California, try and arrange it around the days that we're open.
I will absolutely do that. I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for the time. I know you're doing a bunch of these interviews, and thanks for starting back in the Midwest in the great state of Iowa. We appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you.
Take care, Tippi.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.